welcome to Few Talks. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about Borderlands 3. Specifically, I want to focus on the story, what worked, what didn't, and why some fans, including myself, felt a little let down. Later in the video, I'll give my take on the story and how I would have written it instead. After seeing the trailer for Borderlands 4, my friends and I got super hyped, so we decided to play Borderlands 3 again to get ready for the big launch. Now that we just finished the game and all the DLCs, the story is fresh in my mind, so let's talk about it. Before people say I'm just a Borderlands 3 hater, let me preface something. I own 3 copies of Borderlands on Steam, on Epic Games, and on Stadia, when Stadia was still a thing. And combined, I probably have over 600 to 700 hours. I have pushed multiple characters to level 72 before they added the feature that you can just create a 72 character whenever you want. And majority of those characters are in True Vault Hunter mode, so I beat the game twice on each character. So I know the story quite well. But some of those characters have a few side quests to be done, but I'm not gonna go back for those. So in total, I probably had like 50 playthroughs. So 50 times here in the story. Wow, that's a lot of times. I don't think that beat the record for my Borderlands 2 though. I have even more hours than that. Plus there's the ultimate True Vault Hunter mode in Borderlands 2. So that's 3 gameplays per character instead of the 2 gameplays per character. And not to mention, the True Vault Hunter mode is not even required for Borderlands 3. After you beat the game first time, you can just go to Mayhem level 11, and just be chill with it. But since I like the game so much, I play it again just for the fun of it. So those are my credentials for Borderlands 3. I know the story like the back of my hand. This video will heavily focus on the plot and the story elements of Borderlands 3. But if you want my opinion of the gameplay and the gunplay, leave it in the comments and I'll try to do it. Alright, set the stage. Borderlands 3 picks up after the events of Borderlands 2, introducing us to 2 new antagonists, the Calypso twins, Tyree and Troy. They're essentially the interstellar live streamer turned cult leader, rallying the children of the Vault to open up the great vaults across the galaxies. As the new Vault Hunter, you team up with familiar people like Lilith and Claptrap on a mission to stop the twins from their chaotic takeover. On paper, it sounds thrilling, larger-than-life villains, cameos appearances of fan-favorite characters, and a multi-planet journey that thwarts an apocalypse journey. But in practice, the execution of these elements is, subpar, to say the best. Before I dive into the criticism, let's talk about what did work and the good parts. Number 1, the expanded universe. For the first time, you aren't just limited to Pandora. The game takes you to different planets such as Paranethea, Eden 6, and Thenas. Each look fantastic. Oh my god, the background looks amazing. And the lore is just amazing. The side quests on these are just awesome. This gives like the Borderlands universe a bigger and a more epic feeling. Number 2, the returning characters. Seeing familiar faces such as Lilith, Tannis, and Zero. These characters are so good in here. Some of them had great interactions and their side quests are peak. But that's the side quest, not the main quest. Number 3, the action and some humor. Borderlands has a trademark humor and is very present in this game. Some of the side quests and some of the side missions and banter is pretty funny, and some lightens the mood despite it's on the higher stakes. The comedic aspect makes the series quite unique. Those elements are crucial why so many people actually still enjoy the game despite the story being flawed. And of course, the gunplay is awesome. The guns feel awesome. The guns are nice. It's fun shooting people. Now let's talk about where things start getting a little shaky. Number 1, weak antagonists, the Calypso twins. In comparison to Borderlands 2, handsome Jack, arguably one of the best villains and the most memorable villain in all of gaming history, the Calypso twins lacks any type of depth. Tyree and Troy comes off as loud, brash, and impulsive, but their motivations feel very shallow and underexplored. Their goal to consume power and gain fame feels like the most weird social experiment ever. They are trying to be like a Twitch live streamer, like the day in the life of Troy and Tyree. And the game never really quite explores it in any meaningful way. They're just evil for the sake of being evil. Number 2, the misuse of beloved characters. Many returning characters have smaller roles than expected. Their arcs sometimes feel like so forced. For instance, Maya's story was shockingly brief, and Ava's introduction just completely overshadowed her, even though we hate Ava. Lilith's role as a Crimson leader has some great potential, but the pacing and the narrative choices of the story just turn Lilith into a yapping monster in Sanctuary. Like, come on, man, does she have to yap so much? And plus, the dialogue is unskippable, so you just sit there for 5 minutes and listen to her talk. Yeah, this is the actual gameplay of the game. Number 3, the inconsistent tone. While the franchise always has a mix of comedic and dark elements, Borderlands 3 often swings too far in both directions. One moment you're dealing with a serious death scene, and the next, you are like slapstick gag and just undermine the tension entirely. This tonal whiplash makes it really hard for people to be fully invested, and being invested was at stake. Like, for example, at the start of the game where you rescue Vaughn, and then he asks whether his friends are dead, and then he makes a fart joke in the same sentence. Like, come on, man. Number 4, rushed and forced plot points. Key elements like major character deaths sometimes happen too abruptly and fail to deliver the emotional impact as they would. A key important person dies, and somehow we don't care about it. Overall, these flaws don't necessarily ruin the game, but they keep the story from being a standout success like the fans were hoping for. And those flaws prevent Borderlands 3 from beating Borderlands 2. But the next reason I tell you is the reason why I made this video in the first place. Freaking Ava. Oh my god, Ava is just such a bad character. I hate her with a passion. She single-handedly ruined the entire game. I understand what the writers are going for, to make her like annoying, bratty little girl, but they did their job too well. She is way too annoying, way too bratty, and not enough redemption. In the final cutscene at the end of the game, Ava's in it. She's still whining, she's still annoying, and she's still miserable. I know, I understand Borderlands have some annoying characters like Claptrap. Claptrap is annoying, haha. But Ava, she's like annoying that you want to punch her in the face. I can genuinely say the game would be so much better and the replayability would actually be a thing if Ava was not in it. I know one friend that turns off his sound whenever we get to Athena just because he doesn't want to hear Ava talk. The gameplay is still fun enough to keep him enticed. He turns his sound as soon as we get off of Athena. All I'm asking from Borderlands 4 is, please no annoying characters without their redemption arc. The whole point of playing video games is trying to get away from annoying people in the real life. Why do we need more annoying people in our video games then? And it really hurts the replayability of it. The whole point of Borderlands is a looter shooter, which you just hang around with your friends and shoot some fun guns and have a good laugh. With an annoying character there, it really ruins it. The bad storytelling in Borderlands 3 really does not matter too much. We just want to have a good laugh and shoot some really fun guns. If I was to rewrite the story, this is what I would do. I would put Troy and Tyrone as a side character, and I would put Mallow and Takeover as the number 1, the Katagoa and Zero's arc. Their story was far better. They had a sibling rivalry, defeating capitalism, beating the corporate, and everything that you could have ever wanted from a good storytelling. But they were a side character in the main game, which felt odd. So in conclusion, is the Borderlands 3 story really that bad? No, not really. Should you skip the game altogether? Definitely not. The core gameplay and the diverse environment and the trademark humor is still there to make it a fun ride. However, it is fair to say that the narrative had some potential to hit deeper emotional beats and deliver way more satisfying character arcs. So what do you think? Did the Borderlands 3 story live up to your hype? Are you excited for Borderlands 4? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like button and consider subscribing for more. Thank you for watching.